People of Walton, this is your mayor, John Ward. Now, I want to take a moment to thank y'all for your patience and resolve in these most challenging times. It's that Southern spirit, it's that Texas grit that gives me full confidence that we'll not only get through this crisis, but come out stronger on the other side. I only wish I could be here to see it, huh? However, folks, I regret to announce that today I'll be moving my office to a secure spot outside the city limits. Now, no need to go assuming the worst. All right. This move is strictly to facilitate better coordination with our boys in uniform, who are at this very moment putting together a surefire plan to retake our city and eradicate the... Huh? Let's get waiting. They're where? Just give me... So just, hold tight, secure your homes, and I assure you...
Hello?
The tide will turn. God bless you. God bless you.
I'm not sure if anyone out there is still listening to this trash. But if you are, know this. Nobody is coming to help you. There's no plan. Look. What they did, it's wrong. It's all wrong. We are trapped. And staying here isn't an option. You have to get out. Escape the city any way you can. Get out now.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I didn't include the biggest tip out of all the 100 tips through the video. So I'm going to be giving you 4 bonus tips right now. The best starting pair in the game is by far Penny and Daphne. If you want the easiest playthrough, Penny and Daphne is number 1, by far the best starting group. Then the second best starting group is Daryl and Leo. The third best starting group is Sebastian and Diane. And then if you want to last as long as possible without changing the custom difficulty settings to baby mode, if you want to last as long as possible in normal difficulty or hard difficulty, Hector and Kayla is the best starting pair because there is no way to generate more wood except the wood that you find. And the fact that Hector needs half the amount of wood for reinforcing barricades lets you survive technically twice as long as you can survive with any other starting pair, especially on hard difficulty. And then after that, you basically have Tracy and Wayne, which is the worst starting pair. He looks the coolest, but if you look at the skills that they have, it's the worst starting pair in the game. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my 100 tips for Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. I have got about 200 hours in this game already. I have finished 4 hard playthroughs, although I've never done one without losing a single character. I've done multiple normal run-throughs of the game. I've played the game since its early access release, when we didn't have a lot of points of interest to explore. I think this game is phenomenal. It's very addictive. It's beautiful. The lady that does the art design with the land design, you know, and the points of interest design is next level. The game isn't perfect, but I think it's got a bright future ahead of it. The Spoil Zone update is coming out on the 23rd and the 24th, depending on where you are in the world. And I'd love you guys to join me when I stream that. Let's get to the tip. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is the oh shit brick. It's just a normal brick, but I call it the oh shit brick because there's many times where I peek through a door where it's very dark and I don't see the zombie, and then I open up the door and then the zombie aggroes on me, and I don't want to waste my weapon durability, and then I throw it with a brick. Or I walk down a passageway and I'm not patient enough to see if there's more than one zombie in that passageway, and then the brick saves me. Okay, so the brick has multiple uses. You can kill the one zombie with a weapon, and then when the other zombie turns around, you can throw it with the brick. The oh shit brick is definitely the best thing in the game by a mile. The second thing is pebbles. Pebbles are really good to wake up zombies. Zombies that look at you, they are not guard zombies, so they don't look left and right. They stuck looking at you, and you don't have a pathway to get behind them. That's what you use pebbles for. So a pebble sound radius is very, very, very small. For instance, if you've got two zombies next to one another and you throw the pebble at the first zombie's feet, not on his feet, just in front of his feet, you will only wake him up, not the zombie behind him. And even if there's a sleeper right next to that zombie, you won't wake up the sleeper. So the pebble sound radius is very, very small, and it can be tactically used to wake up a zombie, get him to move, kill him stealthily. Very, very useful. And you can go and look at the notes when you look over a brick or a pebble. Then this is Old Ballad. Old Ballad used to be a difficult place, but after 200 hours, I've mastered most of the locations. A lot of people want to climb over this thing and then it falls through the floor and then they're in some deep poop. Now, in this instance, I'm lucky that there is a zombie, so I can just let the zombie look at me and then he climbs onto the cupboard, which is clearly going to fall through the roof if you see the planks cracking, or the planks, coming out of the ground there. And that allows you to jump across, get Hardwick's tip or the location of Hardwick's trailer, which is great. But I am going to show you a method with firecrackers. Firecrackers are the level 1 noise tool to attract zombies. Then you get guard zombies. The next tip is a guard zombie looks in a direction for 6 seconds and then he turns around. So he turns around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And then he's turning around again. You can count a little bit slower, okay? But that's why I didn't need to look at the zombie. I'm just counting in my head to 6, and then I know when the zombie is going to turn around. The next step is about ladder direction. The direction that you exit the ladder from is very, very, very important. So when you hold in W to climb up the ladder, you can either hold in A as well to exit to the left, or you can hold in D with W to exit to the right. This will be very helpful in getting to a zombie fast, where you've got a very short walking path, and it can save your life. Now, as you see, I was climbing up the ladder where you get to Aubrey. Aubrey, if you save Aubrey, if you don't save Aubrey, you don't get the location of this highway or the truck on the highway. So you have to save Aubrey, walk away from her, and then she's going to ask you to come back. Then go back to Aubrey. She's going to give you the location of the Route 93 highway. The only thing that you have to bring here is a bolt cutter to open up the back of the truck. And the truck has got a ton of cameras, which is extremely beneficial to you if you use someone like Joe, which gets an extra component when dismantling items and a level 2 dismantling bench. Okay, it's going to help you a heck of a lot to upgrade those stations. The next tip is Barb. Barb is, in my opinion, the best survivor to save. She reminds me of Die Hard, but the female version. She's the only character in the game that can craft ranged weapons for cheaper, and then except for Daryl, she can also craft melee weapons for cheaper. So you're saving a ton of resources with her. Barb is fantastic. Right now, we all know deep wounds are bad. A lot of you don't know how deep wounds work. A lot of you lose a lot of people to deep wounds. And that's why a lot of people are exploiting the game by going to their saved folder and copying their saved game and just repeating stuff. which the developers don't want you to do it that way. That's why they're not giving you a save game option. But of course, players will always get around it and exploit the game. But instead of exploiting the game, I'm going to give you the solution, how to not lose characters, or how to not lose characters 95% of the time. Because as I'll show you at the end of these tips, sometimes the character, the character doesn't believe in you. So this is how to not do it. I don't have enough food, so I can't maximize his food on any stomach. I don't have enough food. So the secret to saving a character with a deep wound is get all his stats to blue without alcohol and coffee, just naturally. Get all his stats to blue, feed him till he's full, sleep until he's full, put him in the communal center till he's full. And then when he gets a fever, do not give him medicine, okay? You have to treat him naturally. I have saved the character while moving out of the shelter because it's a little bit tedious staying in the shelter. So I tested it. Can I still save a person even if I move out of the shelter? Yes, you can. All you need to focus on is keeping all his stats in blue, not giving him any medicine with the fever. You can treat the fever after he's recovered. And the reason Joe's going to die here is point one, I didn't have enough food to maximize his food stats. The second reason is I killed Rahul on purpose because I didn't want him in the team, and that affected Joe negatively as well, okay? And this is how you lose a character. If you don't keep his stats blue, if you give him medicine when he has the fever, and if anything negative happens, like you lose a character while he's being treated, he will turn. But later in these tips, I will show you how to almost never lose a character, which hopefully will help you to not exploit the poop out of the game with save game folders or whatever you guys come up with. Really nice trick here is a lot of times there's a room with a lot of zombies in and you're not in the mood to fight them or get hurt or get hit or take a chance to get a deep wound. So all I do is I'm using the one-step trick. So both of them are looking at me and they don't want to turn. So I stand up and step once to let them hear something, and then they start moving. Then I wait for them to slow down because they're walking very, very fast. And the secret to this is grenades aren't the best tool to use against armored zombies or against bosses. We call an armored zombie a boss or a big zombie a boss, okay? Grenades are a specialty item for small zombies. So what you do is you open the door when they're not with you, throw the grenade right to your feet, close the door, kill them. The next step is always run. Whether you're playing a hard mode or normal mode, run. I have lost too many characters trying to stay at the point of interest, trying to handle the situation, but that's where you will lose most of your characters. If you don't want to lose survivors, when something goes wrong, run. Just flip and run. Then, on normal difficulty, this is hard difficulty. On normal difficulty, it takes 2 pipe bombs to kill an armored zombie if you hit him directly. Okay, you will see with the 3rd pipe bomb that this armored zombie will die because it's hard difficulty. So the one lying down, he's dead because of 3 pipe bombs. Okay, on normal difficulty, it will only take 2 pipe bombs. So without a doubt, the best thing to use against armored zombies are pipe bombs. They're not that expensive to make. Then weapons. The best weapons in the game is not the brute shotgun, it's the Colossus shotgun. It's not the G33 pistol, it's not the normal pistol, it's the revolver. It's not the F300 rifle, it's the M3 rifle. And then the coolest rifle in the game is the AR rifle, which I haven't found within 10 playthroughs. Hopefully the developers will change that. Then 38 Irving Drive is the location that you must aim for on every playthrough. If you can always start at the tutorial location, then you don't have a problem. But if you said, no, I don't want to start at the tutorial location, I want to start at random locations, you're still aiming to get to 38 Irving Drive. Because 38 Irving Drive opens up the Texway gas station where Joe is, and then the Texway gas station opens up the fire station where you can find Frank and the revolver parts, and the fire axe, and a ton of loot. Okay, so always aim for that. Then a lot of us loot a place or clear a place, but we don't go to the telescope. Telescopes are extremely important. For instance, I'm just giving you an example. On hard difficulty, wood and food is going to be a major problem for you. So if you miss one telescope and you don't get the location of a shelter, that can be the difference between life and death. Not really on normal, but please don't forget telescope locations. And here I'm just showing you that I found the G33 pistol parts, which I'm never going to use because it just wastes a bunch of ammo. I found it in a locked container. And then I took everything out of the locked container and I put it in one of the normal loot locations, okay? Because when you go back to a shelter, let's say you kill all the zombies at a shelter, you don't have to loot anything, because when you go live there, you'll get all the items that were there, except for the locked containers. So if there's a locked container there, make sure you lockpick it and then take all the loot from the locked container and move it to a normal loot spot. And then when you come back, you'll have everything. And I'm just showing you here that I even got the G911 Enforcer pistol parts. The next step is I want some feedback from you guys. Every time I say Frank at the fire station, I do get the revolver parts. But when I don't say Frank, I don't get the revolver parts. And I'd like to know from you guys if you're experiencing that or not. But the tip is, at the fire station, you can get Frank. When you say Frank, you usually get the revolver parts. The revolver is the best semi-automatic handgun in the game, by a mile. And then here I'm just showing you exactly what I said. If you're not lucky enough for a zombie to be walking up and down, a pebble doesn't really work because the pebble sound radius is too small. So this is a perfect place to use the firecracker, which is like level 1. It's like a level 1 sound tool. Doesn't have a big radius, but it can definitely wake up a zombie in a room, which allows the zombie to come to you and open up your path to Hardwick. And then the alarm clock, I feel, has the bigger sound radius, and then the sound thing that you craft at a shelter, I'd say, is either the same as the alarm or a little bit softer than the alarm. So I'd say firecracker level 1, craft level 2, and the alarm clock that you find level 3. When it comes to the radius of the sound and how many zombies they can wake up and how you can use that to your benefit. And then right here, the network, as soon as you get all 3 clues for the network or the helicopter, a lot of people don't know that they can mark it. So if you click on it, then you pin it. And it literally says there, pin, unpin. So if you're not sure where to go, just click on the escape plan. And it will show you exactly where to go to further the escape plan. And this will help you a lot. Like, if you've never played the game and you want to try and finish the spoil zone, pin that escape plan so you know where to go next. And then right here, again, I want your guys' opinion. If you kill Hardwick, you get the best level 3, you get the best melee weapon in the game, which is the machete. But I don't see any benefit in not killing. I mean, I can get rid of grief immediately. But in any case, the reason I kill Hardwick is because I get a machete very early in the game. And a machete is the most powerful, best melee weapon out of all the melee weapons. Then to get the fuel that you need to escape with the helicopter escape plan, you get it right here at this location, aviation fuel, where you have to jump to the container that's hanging in the air. Right below that, you don't need the bolt cutter to get the fuel, and this lets you escape with the helicopter without crashing. If you don't get this aviation fuel and you just use normal fuel, you're going to crash, which means you're doing the bad helicopter ending. Right here I'm showing you that the knife is the best level 1 melee weapon in the game. You can kill all the zombies. Doesn't matter if they're big or small. Of course, you can't stealth kill an armored zombie. But if you take the noise to damage ratio, a knife is number 1, a hatchet is number 2, and a machete is number 3. Okay? And then if you've never known this, when you save a hole, you don't have to go up the ladder again. You can just jump out the window and get gun parts and bullets for the pistol. Okay? So that's just a nice little tip. Might be obvious to some, might not be obvious to others. But instead of going back up the ladder, you can just jump out the window and get the loot on that roof. Here is a great demonstration of the alarm clock. The alarm clock makes a lot of noise. Not as much noise as the grenade makes. Like, if you want to make a lot of noise, throw a pipe bomb or a grenade, okay? You'll be sorry. Like, if you haven't cleared out all the zombies close to you and you just lob a grenade, you know, you'll be sorry. But the reason I'm using an alarm clock here is that this is where it's the water contamination place or whatever. This is where you find the lady in the network storyline that tells you to drown the bad guys. And what I've died here on hard difficulty, because the mistake that you can make is if you jump across, you're gonna hang onto the roof and then climb up the roof. But if you make a mistake and a zombie sees you as you're jumping across, the zombie will stun lock you and you fall down there. Or you jump over the roof to attract the zombies, and then you try and jump back over and something goes wrong. Like, all I know is that because the door is blocked underneath me, while I'm here, I'm 100% safe. So that's why I use the alarm clock to get a lot of zombies, okay, attention, and then I throw a grenade down. And like I say, a grenade is perfect for normal zombies, where a pipe bomb I only use on armored zombies, because a pipe bomb is the most powerful thing against armored zombies. A grenade is not that powerful. I know it doesn't make sense, but except for a grenade not being that powerful, it's very difficult to get a direct hit on an armored zombie, because the grenade has got a 2-second timer and it slides across the ground. Here I'm giving you another example about the hatchet, why it's the second best melee weapon in the game. And when I say best weapon, I mean the damage output versus the noise that it makes. So there's a sleeper right here. I'm not going to care about the sleeper, and I'm just going to kill the zombie with a hatchet. That's why I say the knife, the hatchet, and the machete are the best. Not only with Penny, but with any character, okay? And then this, I'm just going to use this opportunity to really let you guys focus on the guns that you find in the game. The reason you don't want to use the new pistol is because it uses a ton of ammo, and ammo is very expensive. Like, it takes weapon parts to craft, you know, like 5 or 6 bullets. But if you waste a ton of bullets, you're wasting a ton of weapon parts, okay? So please don't use anything else except the revolver. When it comes to shotguns, don't use the Brute shotgun, use the Colossus shotgun. Don't use the F300 rifle, use the M5 rifle, and then use the AR to have maximum fun. If you need bricks, which is my favorite thing in the game, because I've even adopted the name the Oh Shit brick, you get a lot of bricks at Hackett Construction, and then at the Water and Electronics, that place where the wash and dry, that place where you walk in and it looks like a truck has gone through the wall with you know, there's a lot of bricks there as well. This is not a pebble demonstration. The tip that I'm giving you guys here is, if you want to have fun, have fun. But in hard difficulty, you will know how important weapon durability is. So I am not showing you guys how I wake up a zombie with a pebble here for a pebble tip. This is a weapon durability tip. On normal, it won't be such a massive hassle for you. But if you ever want to challenge yourself in hard difficulty, you have to stealth kill 95% of the zombies, because weapons are going to be very, very rare. And as soon as you take on a zombie head first, you're going to be wasting the durability. So use those bricks, use those pebbles to save on durability. Then the next step is the message that they give you over here. Okay. I haven't, this message doesn't help me. I've written it down. I mean, this intercom worked in Into the Dead 0.1, you know, the early access version. I haven't gotten a use out of this code. If you guys know of a use for it, let me know in the comments below. But I do feel it's going to have a use in later storylines, later escape plans. So because I'm going to stream the Spill Zone on the 23rd or the 24th, depending on what time zone I'm in, maybe that message will help for other escape plans. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then here I'm just showing you the cow gun. You get the cow gun at the meat processing plant, and the cow, you can see there's a sleeper quite close to me. So when it comes to a gun, because it is a gun, the cow gun is the best. Damage to noise ratio, pistol in between brackets. Okay. And then once again, because Joe gets an extra component when he dismantles stuff and a level 2 dismantling bench, you know, Joe with a level 2 dismantling bench is absolutely awesome. If you look at the amount of components and scrap metal that you can get from anything that you dismantle, it will help you to upgrade those stations really fast. The next tip I want to give you is about Texway Sports Store. This place has got a lot of food. When you loot it, it has a garden where you can grow carrots. Christine can help you a lot with that, because Christine gives you a carrot almost every single turn. And yeah, it's just a great place. It's my favorite place it's my favorite shelter. And then, yeah, you can kill the zombie if you take your route right, because it's got a glitch. And then this isn't really a tip, it's just a cool thing. I wish they add more things like this in the game. You know, putting the shot down on the zombies, that's really cool. And this game is really cool. So let's get into the next tip. The Fire Station 13 has got more loot than the fire station where Frank is. And you can get 2 grenades, a lockpick, and a weapon part before you even go into the place. Okay, 0 risk. And then of course you can get a few bricks here. Whenever you see bricks lying on the ground, you know, like walls are destroyed, you can get a lot of bricks there. And like I say, this place has got a ton of loot. And then this is a very good tip for when a room is too dark and you can't see anything inside the room. A lot of people set the gamma up so that everything is bright. That breaks immersion. I don't believe in taking shortcuts. I'm a purist. So what you can rather do is just open the door quickly, you know, light up the room with a flashlight, close the door immediately. Open the door, you know, and then put the flashlight on and close the door. And then here is just to show you that a sleeper won't always break down a door. If you wake up a sleeper and you crouch walk to a place where you're hidden, and you don't give the sleeper a chance to see you or hear you clearly, like if I ran away, then he would have broken the door to get to me. But because I let the broom fall and then, you know, close the door while I'm crouch walking, I don't give the sleeper enough time to detect where I am. And that's a very safe way of killing the zombie. And that's a very nice tip for sleepers. Sleepers aren't as dangerous as you think they are if you know how to use stealth. You can literally run to a staircase and then start crouch walking, because they can only track you up to where you made a noise. And as soon as you go silent, they can't track you anymore. A nice tip is you can right click to skip the talking. I have finished this game about 15 times. I don't need to read everything that every survivor tells me. So another tip Zone gave me is just to right click and you skip all the talking. This tip is again about the power of a brick and the power of Frank. Now, if you don't choose Penny, that is overpowered with sharp weapons, or you don't choose Leo, that's overpowered with all weapons, Frank does more damage with blunt weapons. So most of you just use him to cook food. But if you've got a situation like this where you need to kill the zombies really quickly and you need that extra oomph behind your blunt weapons, like you're playing with Penny but you need someone to do more damage with blunt tools, Frank is great for that. And then here is a great example of the revolver's power. Now, this is with Sebastian, but trust me, the revolver is powerful with all the characters. Sebastian doesn't do double damage with a gun. Sebastian does about, if I look at the numbers that I've researched, Sebastian does about 20% more damage with each and every bullet. But the revolver will still be extremely powerful, especially if you aim for zombies' heads, because the last update added where you shoot them makes a difference. Like if you shoot an arbor zombie in the chest or the head, it makes a difference. And again, here is an example of aggro distance. So there was a zombie very, very close to me, but I still knew that the brick was gonna I knew that I was gonna wake up the zombies, and I'm prepared for it. But if you look at the damage of the hatchet, 4 shots with Joe to kill a zombie. Okay, so just an example that the hatchet is great with noise, but I mean, you can't kill a zombie like point blank next to a sleeper. And then again, just like with when I'm going to stream the Spoil Zone on the 23rd or the 24th, please join me in that stream. I'll really appreciate it. If you like the effort that I did on these tips, I'll appreciate it if you come and join me, and I'll show you how I use all these tips effectively, and I'll get to the new storyline really, really fast, and hopefully I can finish the storyline really, really fast and you can enjoy it. Again, I'm just showing you that you can pin the airlift. And then here at the Jensen High School, you can jump out of the window to get to this zombie very easily. But it's like a secret, okay? Most people don't know about this. So on the left-hand side of the school, when you've cleared the left-hand side, you can jump through a window to get to this location. Without jumping through the window, you can't get to this location. And I really love using that pipe because of the animation speed. Like if you stab a zombie with a screwdriver, you stab him 3 times. The longer you take to kill a zombie, the more trouble you can get into with other zombies coming down the line. Okay, and then the next tip is at this location, which is another Texway gas station. Never forget that you can climb or vault onto things. Okay, this is a perfect indication of where a zombie is looking at you, and if you don't want to waste a pebble or you don't want to waste a brick, you can just look for another route to get behind the zombie. It's not always just about using the pebble or using the brick or stealth killing them. A lot of times it's like puzzle solving, and you can't come through the entrance because the zombie's looking at you, but you can always climb over the roof and kill them. And I'm going to show you how that is very useful even at the even at another location, the Fitzgerald house. I'll show you how beneficial that is. And then here we are at the same gas station, and again there are 2 zombies in a room that are looking at me, and I've got the option to do the steps, walk once to aggro them or wake them up, or I can just get behind them. There are multiple ways to solve problems. I'm making a noise, but I've got the brick to solve the problem. Now, I could have done that smoother. Like if I brought Frank here, I wouldn't have gotten hit, so I took the risk of receiving a deep wound. But all I'm telling you, this game is fantastic because it's got multiple ways to solve a problem. It's not only just one way to solve a problem. This is a lot of people feel Vivaldi is dangerous, and I have died at Vivaldi when I didn't bring bricks with me, but I mean, I just love bricks. That's why I call them oh shit bricks, because they just make life so much comfortable. But if you want a lot of food, Vivaldi is the place to be, okay? And even pro players, not pro players, but people that have played the game for a very long time struggle with Vivaldi, especially upstairs, because you've got all these zombies on top of one another, and it gets complicated. But now I'm showing you that I threw the pebble, but it only woke up one zombie, okay? And now I'm going to wake up the other zombie by throwing the pebble close to him. And then there's another zombie after that one. So a lot of people struggle here with the amount of zombies that there are. Usually they just run in and break their weapon durability, you know, and maybe get hit, maybe get a deep wound. But a lot of people struggle with the top part of Vivaldi. Vivaldi has got a heck of a lot of food. You can see it's very, very easy to solve these situations with a pebble. I have shot the poop out of them with a rifle. There's the third zombie. Okay, so there's literally like 3 zombies waiting for you. That makes it almost impossible to go up the stairs. But because of the pebble sound radius, you can wake them up one at a time and time it. You don't want to wake all 3 of them up at the same time, because then they're on top of each other, which complicates things for you. But if you wake up one and, you know, let the one be far away from the other one and then wake up the other one, you can spread them out so that you don't wait 10 minutes to get a gap, okay? So using pebbles at the right time and waking them up when, you know, their friends are far away from them is also a very important tactic to use. And with these tactics, even a place like Vivaldi is really, really, really easy. And there are a lot of people that struggle with this location, but as you can see, when you know what to do, it's quite easy. Then at Indigo Rose, there's an armored zombie immediately on hard difficulty, and I don't know on normal difficulty. I don't know if there's an armored zombie on normal difficulty, but maybe you first have to reach threat level 1. But here again, I'm showing you the power of the revolver. I didn't bring a pipe bomb with me. I'm just showing you guys the power of the revolver. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, that's 5 shots that I hit him with. 5, 6, 7 shots. Now you might think 7 shots is a lot, but with 4 gun parts, if you use barb, you only use 4 gun parts for 6 revolver rounds. So killing an armored zombie with a revolver only costs you 5 or 6 gun parts, where it takes 3 shots or 4 shots from an M5 rifle to kill the same zombie, which costs you 12 gun parts. So when it comes to the most effective weapon to use the least amount of gun parts to kill an armored zombie, the revolver is at the top. Then now I'm going to show you how to save a person correctly. Okay, because the beginning of the tips was in a hard playthrough. Now with Sebastian, we are on a normal playthrough. So now, again with Joe, I don't know why Joe keeps getting hit, but in any case, with Joe, I'm taking the healing kit. The healing kit is still part of the natural process. I've got food to maximize Joe's food. I put a bandage on him. I put a bandage on him and I use the healing kit. And I can see his sleep is the priority, so I'm sleeping with him. I'm using whatever is most needed. Like if he needs sleep more, I sleep first. If his mental state is bad, I go to the communal center first. Okay? And then here at the reason I'm showing you Stanton and Sons meats is, again, not to show you the pebble. There's a tip revolved around Stanton and Son meats. Stanton and Son meats can, if you stay here long enough, you can get a curveball where you open a secret location, the key line location. But unfortunately, curveballs are really bad in the game at the moment, and I really hope they improve this because, like I said, In my 10 playthroughs, I haven't found the AR once. I find all the weapons except the AR, which is not good. And then, you know, like, did you ever think about using the door outside the building? Remember, there's multiple ways to do this. All I'm telling you is if you wait at Stanton and Sons long enough, you can get a curveball that allows you to open up a new location. Okay? And the new location is really, really cool. Although I couldn't do it this time because sometimes the curveball happens in 10 turns, sometimes 20 turns. For you guys, I literally waited 50 turns and I still couldn't get the curveball. So hopefully they fix the curveballs. The fact that you have to wait at a place to open up a curveball is not fun, and I really feel they must change that. But in any case, again, we're treating Joe, and then the tip that I'm giving you guys here is to have fun. Like, I don't like Hudson. I don't know if there's anyone that likes Hudson, but even if you don't want to use a survivor, save them, because if you don't save Hudson, you don't get the loot at the Brerewood Hotel. Okay, so there's benefits to saving a survivor, like Frank. If I don't save Frank, for some reason, I don't get the revolver parts. If I don't save Hudson, I don't get, you know, I don't get his loot. If I don't save Aubrey, I don't get the highway location. But I don't, those characters don't really add to the game. Okay, again, look at Joe's stats. His food is full, his sleep is full, his mental stat is full. I haven't given him medicine for the fever. I've just used the healing kit, okay, on him. But have fun with your expendable characters and let them die at some point, but do as much with them as you can. Like Aubrey, let her craft a few medical items before you send her out to die. With Hudson, let him clear out a place, so you don't waste weapons. Practice your dodging skills with the characters that you're willing to lose. You don't want to practice your dodging skills with Joe or Penny or Leo or anyone, you know, that you could possibly lose. So do stupid things with your characters that you're willing to lose, and then when they have served their purpose, let them loot an entire place and then let them die at the entrance, so you can just quickly loot them when you go back there. And then practice your dodging, you know, like kill as many zombies as you can with your fists. And then there you can see we've saved Joe. Okay, so that's how you don't lose a character from a deep wound. If you're thinking, loot, you were just lucky saving Joe there, I'm going to save the guy at the clinic. Why can't I remember his name now? I call him the Punisher, okay? I'm going to save the spoiled brat at the Elkins clinic as well, and I'm going to save another character again. I'm going to save 3 characters in this playthrough, and yeah, like I say, practice, you know? Aubrey is nothing impressive, but it's cool. It's cool kicking ass with Aubrey, okay? So like I say, use them to practice your dodging so you don't get hit so much. And yeah, like I say, I'm going to save the Punisher at the Elkins Clinic with the exact same tactic that I've shown you guys, but go test it for yourself. Don't use alcohol or tea. Don't use medicine. Only use bandages and healing kits. Sleep when you need to sleep. Go to the communal center when you need to go to communal center. Keep all your stats in blue, and then see what your success rate is. My success rate is 95% with that tactic. Okay? And yeah. Another big tip is at the Bloomingburg place. Through my first 6 playthroughs, I always ran after the mule, the lady. I always ran after her. But I always had like, it was always a rush. And a lot of times I got hit because as I'm running after her, 2 zombies break through a door and the zombie that ran after her. So I've got 3 zombies on me and it just gets very uncomfortable. Until I tested another method, and that's not chasing after her. So funny enough, she can run past the door on our left without letting the 2 zombies break through the door. But when you run after, the 2 zombies that are in this room does break this door, and then you've got 3 zombies on you. So the biggest tip that I can give you here is don't run after. Okay, she's going to wait for you at every single point. Don't run after, then you've only got the 1 zombie that she woke up. But if you run after, you've got 3 zombies to deal with. Okay, now you've only got 1 zombie to deal with. So that's a very, very nice tip to keep things nice and smooth. Maybe it's not that important on normal difficulty, but it's extremely important on hard difficulty. So here again, I'm going to show you the 1-step trick. I'm going to stand up, take 1 step, because they're very, very close to me. Now both zombies are going to start walking. And they are close to one another, so I'm going to extend their route. Okay, and just wait for them to calm down until there's a gap between them. Kill them very easily, move on with my life, loot the entire place. Okay, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Then there are a few locations where you can let zombies follow you and let them fall to their death, or just get them out of the way. And at I think there's the RMK building. It's either the RMK building or the plaza. I think it's the RMK building. There's this location where you can literally just let them follow you and fall down. And then at Fire Station 13, there's right at the top, you can also let all the zombies follow you and fall down. Okay, so there's probably, I don't know if there's any other spots, but if you want to use this tactic to save on weapons and save on time and save weapon durability, which is very effective on hard difficulty, just run to the edge, walk that last little bit, so that, because they must see you fall down. You can't just run there and you know, hang, and they're not even on the screen yet. They have to see you for them to fall down. So that's a really good tactic. Then I love the RMK building, because the RMK building's telescope gives you not only the plaza, but Fitzgerald's house. And in my first 5 playthroughs, I struggled to get to the manor, because I struggled to get to a shelter that gives me access to the manor, where, you know, where the helicopter crashes and where you find the pilot to finish the second storyline. So RMK building is difficult when you want to loot everything, but if you're just trying to get to the top, it's not that difficult. And the Fitzgerald house is the best shelter for for that. So here's a grenade. Like I say, it's very difficult to get a direct hit on a armored zombie with a grenade, but you know, I'm playing around with Hudson. I don't care if I lose him, so I'm just testing the combat knife, because weapon speed also has a big effect. Like, you get weapons that do a lot of damage, but they're very slow. And then you get weapons that are very fast. They might not do a heck of a lot of damage, but they're very fast. So threw him with 1 grenade, which didn't do a lot of damage to him, but the combat knife definitely did a lot of damage to him. Although we did waste the combat knife, but like I said, I'm doing various tests, and the speed of the weapon definitely makes a difference to me, and the speed of the animation also makes a difference to me. Like, if I want to kill a zombie before another zombie sees me, I want a weapon where I can kill the zombie with 1 shot and then get into cover, instead of using a weapon that, you know, does a lot of hits to kill the zombie, which can expose me to another zombie. You know, you guys understand what I mean. You see 2 zombies in a room, you want to kill the 1 zombie before the other zombie turns around and sees you. You need to use a weapon that has a quick animation like this one. 1 shot and done. Okay, and for some reason it didn't wake up that zombie. I mean, that shovel makes a lot of noise, but that's what I'm talking about. That's why I love the pipe and stuff. And then again, I'm just having fun with Aubrey. So if you feel like the game is getting too tedious and too tactical and too boring, save a lot of people to have fun with it. Okay, a game is what you make of it. This is the biggest tip I can give you. A game is what you make of it. So if a game gets too boring, but you don't want to lose people, in a game like this. Save people that you don't want to play with and have fun with them, because if they die, it doesn't matter. Even if they die, you take all your survivors to a level 3 communal center. It's very important to upgrade a communal center to level 3, because when a communal center is at level 3, if your character gets a nightmare like Penny or grief or any negative effect, any negative mental effect, you recover that within 1 turn. Where with the level 1 or level 2 communal center, you won't be that lucky. And yes, I have had fun with Aubrey, but I don't want Aubrey to die 1 turn and then Hudson to die another turn. So I want both of them to die in the same turn, so I can send my survivors to a communal center once. I let her die right at the entrance so I can get the loot that she looted really, really quickly. And now you will see when I get to the base, the shelter, Hudson died and Aubrey died in the same turn. And I had a heck of a lot of fun with them. But all my survivors only have 1 grief. Okay? They only gained grief once when 2 people died. So it's only going to take 1 turn to let them all recover from the grief. You know, so it's small little things that you can do if you don't want all your people to lose morale every single turn. Because if you let Hudson die 1 turn and then you let Aubrey die the next turn, you're wasting a lot of turns where you sitting, you know, where your survivors can't do anything because you have to take them to the communal center. So now I'm only losing I'm only losing Sebastian and Joe that I want to send out on missions. I'm only losing them for 1 turn instead of 2 turns. Like I say, there's 100 different ways to save the same problem. All of them, okay, are good now with 1 turn because I leveled up to my community center to level 3. Very big thing about saving the Punisher. We'll see his name now because I've forgotten his name. The Alchemist Clinic has got 3 runners. What I mean by a runner is they walk very, very, very fast. Now you can like open the door and run after them and stealth kill them, but then you're going to wake up sleepers. So if you want to do the Alchemist Clinic really easily, just bring 3 bricks. That is a very easy solution to fast zombies, or call them special zombies. Okay, they're very difficult to stealth kill because, like I say, you can wait for them to turn around, but you can't crouch walk and stealth kill them. You have to run and stealth kill them, but that can wake up sleepers and cause a lot more problems for you. Again, don't throw a zombie with a brick if there's a sleeper close to that zombie, because you stepping on the zombie's head or you killing it like this makes a noise. So make sure when you throw a zombie with a brick that there's no one close to you. Now, all the zombies here wakes up this zombie, but he doesn't know where you are. And luckily, because of a glitch, I don't like glitches in this game. There's a lot of frustrating glitches, like at the fire station number 13, which they are hopefully going to fix. But this is a stupid glitch where the zombie doesn't move. But even if the zombie didn't move, you know, he walks back to me, walks back that way, and I kill him. Okay? Very, very easy. And then you can get the keys to save the survivor. And once again, as soon as I go into the room, the zombie's going to wake up because the caged zombies wakes him up. Okay, so I don't complicate it for myself. So you can actually bring 4 bricks, 3 for the fast zombies and then 1 for that zombie. Okay, and then you get the keys and you save the Punisher, which we are going to get the name for now. And a lot of people in the community thought you had like a 50-50 chance to save the Punisher, this guy, from the deep wound. But that's just, you know, that's just the community speculating. But you can save Vince 100% of the time by using the tactic that you've been taught now. So hopefully you'll never lose a survivor unless he gives up. This is the Fitzgerald house, and there's a zombie looking at you where you're probably going to have to like use weapon durability to kill the zombie. And I didn't know this after my first 10 playthroughs. I never knew you could vault on there and walk over the roof. But again, Sohn, that watches every little stream of mine, every single stream of mine, reminded me that, hey, bro, you can just vault up there and then you can take care of the zombie that's looking at you without losing weapon durability. And that's exactly what I did. I walked over the roof and I killed this zombie from behind. And like I say, any weapon that kills me immediately is good. Now, here, you can see a zombie at the top, a 6-second zombie at the top. Now, if you don't focus on that zombie at the top and you just jump over the couch and kill this zombie whenever you want, that zombie is going to break through the window, fall on the ground, attack you, and again, you're going to lose weapon durability. So I rather wait for that zombie to not look at me so that I don't have to waste the weapon durability, so that I don't have to get hit, so that nothing can go wrong. And then I kill her or him or whatever he is tactically, and I don't take any risks. Okay? It's fun to take risks, but take risks with the survivors that you don't care about losing. And here I'm going to show you how to kill a fast zombie without a brick. But I mean, I've already cleared the Fitzgerald house, so I'm not scared of sleepers. But here's how you kill a fast walker without worrying about a sleeper. Okay, instead, like crouch walking is not going to work. So as soon as they turn around, you have to run and tap the E key when you're close to them, which I'm going to do pretty soon. You can see I've only got a rake and a pebble, which is not going to work. So I'm going to run and stealth kill. Okay, saving weapon durability, but that's only when I know there are no sleepers. Then another showcase of the revolver. Okay, like I said, revolver, best pistol kind of weapon in the game, and the most weapon part effective gun to kill armored zombies. If you look at the weapon parts that it costs you, even the Colossus shotgun. The Colossus shotgun is way better than the Brute shotgun, but the Colossus shotgun takes about 3 or 4. Probably 4 to 5 shots to kill an armored zombie point blank. But that is still, if you don't use barb, that is still 10 gun parts. If you use the M5 rifle, that is 15 gun parts. Because with an M5 rifle, you're going to need at least 3 to 4 headshots to kill an armored zombie. So just compare how many gun parts you need for the ammo. Now, of course, Vince has got a deep wound. That is a big problem for most of the people that play Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. But we're going to save him with the exact same tactic. Fill his food, his sleep is fine. So first, we're going to send him to the communal center, which is a level 3 communal center. It's not important to be a level 3 communal center, but we're keeping all his stats blue. We're filling his food, we're filling his sleep meter, we're filling his mental meter, we're using a healing kit and a bandage, and that is all. Here we got the Colossus shotgun, and the reason that people prefer the Brute shotgun is because it can shoot 2 rounds before you have to reload. But the Brute shotgun actually takes longer to reload because you have to load 2 rounds, which gives the zombies more time to hit you. And the Brute shotgun does less damage than the Colossus shotgun. Okay? And I don't know about you guys, but I've made many mistakes where I shoot twice and I forget to reload, which gets my character killed in hard mode. Where with the Colossus shotgun, you don't have to count. 1, 2, reload. 1, 2, reload. With the Colossus shotgun, you know every single round you fire, you have to reload it, and it does the most amount of damage. And then between the M5 rifle and the F300 rifle, the M5 rifle is by far the best. And the AR is the coolest gun in the game, but Ripley's, believe it or not, within my 15 playthroughs. Okay, I didn't do all 15 playthroughs with the gun update, but I've probably finished the game 5 times with the gun update. And I haven't found the AR once. I really hope the developers change this, because on my first playthrough after the update, I crafted 200 AR rounds, but I could never find the AR. And then people told me if you have Kirk in your team and you are close to Jay's Motel, a curveball will happen where he finds the AR in a hidden stash at Jay's Motel. But again, that is combined to the curveball system that is broken because I waited 50 turns as well for him to remember about his stash at Jay's, and that curveball never happened. So the developers really need to fix that curveball. It's frustrating, it's not fun. Like I say, the game isn't perfect, but it's very addictive. Got a fantastic future. With a few fine-tuning things that they need to do with the curveballs, okay? Curveballs are far from good. And then, yeah, not being able to find the gun that most people are excited to use is not good either. But hopefully they'll fix a lot of that with the Spalzone update. So at Manor Heights, you save the pilot. Okay, and to get the keys, like you can still use a bolt cutter to save him. But to get the keys, you need to kill the old man. And again, I'd like you to tell me in the comments whether there's a benefit in not killing the old man. I've never seen a benefit to not killing the old man. But feel free in the comments, you know, if that 0.001% curveball happened for you, if there's something positive to not killing the old man or not killing his zombified wife. But if you do kill the old man and his zombified wife, you can get the keys. You don't waste a bolt cutter. Plus you get money. And yeah, that's going to be a part of the next tip. The next tip is not really going to be a tip, but more like a question. But we'll get to that now. So we save the pilot, and then we make sure that Vince is fully fed, you know, sleep is full, he's missing a bit of mental, so we take him to the communal center, you know, following all the steps that we usually follow. So yeah, just you know, make a note for yourself. When you save Barb, another great curveball about Barb is when you save Barb, especially for hard playthroughs, when you save Barb, she, at some point, crafts you 6 knives. Now, on hard difficulty, where it's difficult to get weapons, that's fantastic, okay? So that's another great reason to save Barb. Yeah, we recover the pilot, which is easy. You need that fancy medical item, but you can find the fancy medical item in Old Ballad. You don't have to upgrade your medical station to level 3. And then they show you exactly where we found the fuel. Okay? So they're just saying you've got the fuel, you've got the pilot, so everything is hunky-dory for that mission. But just to refresh your memory, knife, base level 1. Hatchet, base level 2 melee weapon. Machete, base level 3 melee weapon. Revolver, base handgun weapon. Colossus shotgun, base shotgun. M5 rifle, base sniper rifle in between brackets. And then AR, coolest gun. Might not be the best gun to save on weapon parts, but it's the coolest gun to play with. I haven't played with it myself, but I've seen a lot of clips and it's freaking awesome. Okay? But when it comes to saving weapon parts, when you craft ammo, and you want to craft as much ammo and kill as many armored zombies and use your ammo effectively, because they cost so many gun parts, stick to the revolver, Colossus shotgun, M5 rifle. And the AR is not cost effective, but the AR is a lot of fun. Now, here's the question. We all know that the necklaces and the money and the watches are trading items. But I want to know from you guys, did you get a 0.00001% curveball where you can use the money or the watches or the necklaces for a specific reason? Only you can answer that. Okay, but of course, later in the game, you'll be able to use the money, the watches, and the necklaces to trade items. That's going to be really exciting. And did someone say quick drop? This is a really quick drop. I take my guy to things, I empty out Penny, and I get the heck out of there. Not only did I have a lot of fun with Penny, but I cleared out all the active zombies in this place, except for the sleepers. So I cleared out the place, I looted the entire place, and I left the loot for my character that's important to me, which is Sebastian. I saved all the loot for my main characters, and I don't have to waste their time. She just got all the loot on her, and everything's fine, and we saved Vince. Okay, so that method right there, guys, has got a 95% success rate on saving deep wound survivors. The only time I have failed using this method is when Sebastian decided to kill himself before he turns. But I don't see that as a failure, because Sebastian cared about Diane so much he couldn't bear the thought of ever hurting Diane. So instead of trusting me to save him, he went and shot himself before giving me the opportunity to save him. So actually my success rate is 100%, because if he didn't kill himself, he wouldn't have turned and everything would have been fine. But that's why I say 95%. If you're like, it doesn't always work. No, it always works, unless a curveball happens and Sebastian ends up shooting himself. He can't shoot himself when he's a zombie, but he can definitely shoot himself while he's not zombified. Okay, so I would have saved him, but he couldn't bear the thought of ever hurting Diane because he loves Diane so much. So actually, the method I'm showing you has got a 100% success rate. And once again, I want to thank Sohn that watches every one of my streams and that's just as addicted to this game as I am, for his brilliant research that I would never be able to do. So, or that I didn't think that far ahead. Okay, so again, right click, skip all the text. And to do the bad ending, you get the, you find the briefcase at the police station, you find the cross at the hitch post, and you get 10 pure alcohol. If you weren't lucky enough to find 10 pure alcohol, like there's a heck of a lot of pure alcohol around, but I usually don't pick up pure alcohol. Don't forget to pick up your weapons when you go out of here. I've done that before. I've just ran out, not picked up my weapons, and I was in deep poop with the next mission, especially on hard difficulty. So you can get all these items, give it to him, and then I'm going to show you where you find the briefcase and the cross. Again, you will find the pure alcohol around the map, but if you want, you can also craft pure alcohol, and that's the only reason to save Rahul. The only time that I'm going to save Rahul is when they give us a place where we can craft fuel and pure alcohol. At the moment, I don't know. At the moment, I only see places where I can craft pure alcohol. But if there's a location where I can craft fuel, please tell me down in the comments below. You will save Rahul's life, because Rahul isn't worth it for me just for the pure alcohol. But if he can craft fuel, I will save his life, because you use fuel for pipe bombs, and you use pipe bombs to kill armored zombies. And that's really cool. Pipe bombs are the most effective items to use versus armored zombies, or versus tough bosses that they're going to bring us in the future. So that saves Rahul's life. But I don't know of a location where you can craft fuel. I only know about the locations where you can craft pure alcohol. So if you guys can help me in the comments below to tell me, hey, Luth, there is a place where you can craft fuel, please let me know. It's not at the Kinski place. It's not at the biker place. And it's not at the Stanton place. Okay, so if you tell me about a new location, I'll go check it out and see if it works. So in that safe is where you find the cross. And what tip am I trying to give you here? Oh, the tip that I want to give you guys here is hiding spots. I don't really use hiding spots because I prefer using doors or stairs. They are just safer for me. But if you use a hiding spot, make sure your character is facing the direction that the zombie is coming from. So I make sure I turn and then I'm looking at the direction at which the zombie is coming. If I took the other hiding spot that he just walked past, and I had my back to him, you can see my right hand side is open. So if I wait for him to turn around, he's going to see me. Okay, so just know that a hiding spot only works when you're facing the zombie. And then this is the hitch post. I don't know if you guys struggle with this. I got quite lucky here, but most of the time it's easy for me. Like at this particular point, I got lucky. But usually it's very easy. So you just wait for the zombie to walk. You know, you go down. And yeah, I dropped too close to him. Okay, that's what happened there. But I still had time to stealth kill him. And I used the broken bottle. Broken bottles might seem like a waste, but they are the most silent weapons in the game, and they are not very expensive to craft. So if you know there's a POI where you need silence, where you need a lot of silence, broken bottles are great. And this is how you get out of the hitch post. Okay? Or how you loot the entire hitch post. If you guys didn't know how to get down there safely, now you do. When you loot a place with survivors, you can kill them all like stealth. You can kill humans like you kill puppets. You wait for them to not look at you, you press the E key and you kill them. But because the Colossus shotgun is so cool, and because Vince reminds me of the Punisher, actually his lore says he's a spoiled brat. Luckily they gave him the right kind of clothing. Now if his hair was black like the first Punisher, I'm not a fan of the second Punisher movie, but I'm a real big fan of the first Punisher movie. So if his hair was black, that would be awesome. But in case, his clothing reminds me of the Punisher, and I like having fun. Okay? Fun. Now, the next tip, ladies and gentlemen, is all about a heat wave. This is something that you're going to encounter later in the game. It's not random. You are going to run into this. A heat wave is really bad for your survivors if you send them out during the day. But the easy way to get around this heat wave is only go to scavenge at night. Okay? So you just let your character sleep or work on the construction benches or dismantle items or cook food or create new workbenches, stuff like that. Just stay calm for one turn. The next turn, when it's nighttime, you go out and scavenge. Take it easy the next turn. Go out just loot at night and you'll be fine. Okay? It's as simple as that. Now remember, you find Kirk at the police station. Okay? It's not that complicated to find Kirk. And Kirk has got a great benefit to him, is that he takes less damage. The only other character that takes less damage is Leo, but I mean, you have to start with that starting pair to get the benefits of Leo. And then you can't have the benefits of Sebastian, or you can't have the benefits of Penny. But it doesn't matter what starting pair you start with, Kirk takes less damage. So what I usually do is I have a killer and a looter. What I mean by a killer and a looter is I only clear points of interest with Sebastian and Kirk. So as soon as I can loot two places at the same time, and you need to upgrade your map station for that, to loot two places at the same time, I will clear out a place with Sebastian and Barb, because Barb is a soldier. And then I will, after I've cleared the place out and unlocked all the things that I need to unlock, then I will go loot those places with Joe and with Vince or Isabel. Okay, but because I know how to save Vince, I'm always going to use Vince. If you don't watch this entire video and you don't know how to save your characters from deep wounds, and you believe the SIBO effect, that there's only a 50-50 chance of saving Vince, then use Isabel. Okay, because Isabel and Joe has a lot more inventory space, and that's how I do it. So I don't risk Joe's life, because Joe is one of the most beloved characters in the game. If you go read his storyline, he's the nicest, most shy guy in the game. I hate losing Joe. Nobody likes seeing Joe die. So yes, if you're playing with Leo, then you use Leo and Kirk. If you play with Penny, you use Penny and Kirk. The reason you're using one person with melee weapons and the other person with guns is, if you're using Penny, she does extra damage with sharp weapons. And the next tip here is where you find the briefcase in the police station. If you're using Penny, she does extra damage with sharp weapons. But then you use Kirk because when you're using rifles, you make a lot of noise, you attract a lot of zombies, and the chance that you're going to get hurt is very, very high. And that's why Kirk is the best guy to use with weapons, because, you know, it takes the least amount of damage. Or you play with Sebastian, and then Sebastian is your gun guy, and, you know, you use whatever you want to use with melee weapons. Here again, I'm showing you this is normal difficulty, so this will be 2 pipe bombs. 1 pipe bomb to the head. The previous demonstration I gave you was on hard difficulty. This is normal difficulty. 2 pipe bombs, armored zombie dead. Okay? And if they can give us a place where Raoul can make more fuel for us, which enables us to make more pipe bombs, then I'll definitely be saving Raoul. But for now, the fact that Raoul can only make more pure alcohol when it's not a problem for me is not worth it. So if you guys don't want me to ignore Raoul, please tell me what other benefits Raoul has. Okay? So yeah. Like I say, if you kill someone, you get grief, but you can solve it at a level 3 communal center. And then there's nightmare spots that you always also have to save at a communal center. But if you don't want to loot everything, and that's what I've done in all 15 playthroughs, I've looted every single place. I've gotten all the loot there is to get. In one of my streams, I actually killed every single zombie on the entire map. I'm not talking about walkers, I'm talking about sleepers as well. So I killed every single zombie, whether it's a sleeper or a walker, it doesn't matter. I killed every single zombie on the map. You know, so I've done a lot of exciting stuff in the game. At this place, the police station, usually this guy comes running through the window immediately, but after the last update, you have to make quite a bit of noise for him to walk through the window or to come bursting through the window. And I tried everything, and then I physically had to shoot a bullet. You guys can tell me in the comments below whether it's necessary to shoot a bullet to let that guy crash through the window. But I mean, if you don't want him to crash through the window, then just go upstairs and climb down the ladder and then come in from this way, you know. But without the zombie crashing through the window, I don't know how you can go through the window. And without that window breaking, that window is really, really important when I aggro all the zombies here, which I will do at the end of the video. I will give you guys some nice action-packed footage at the end of the video, which is not part of the tips, just some B-roll to show you guys how cool the game is. And then right here is the place that I was talking about, where you get another weapon part and where there's a lot of bricks. I told you guys, wherever you see bricks, you can get a lot of bricks. Okay? So the Punisher is just having some fun here. Not that I'm trying to lose the Punisher. I'm just using the Punisher to have some fun, because I've opened up all the storylines, I'm comfortable, I don't have any stress, I've got enough food, so there's nothing pressurizing me. But you get 3 washing machines here. The first one gives you nothing. The second one gives you clothes, which is a lot of cloth. And then the other one gives you a component and some money. And then here is a bunch of bricks. Whenever you see bricks broken, there is 8 bricks. That's going to help you a heck of a lot, okay? And then here's a container that you have to open with a bolt cutter, and you usually get weapon parts here. Weapon parts, 2 grenades, AR ammo, shotgun ammo, wire, duct tape. Really, really cool, okay? I think it's wash and dry. Yeah, it's the wash and dry location. So just know the wash and dry location, and Best Electronics has got really, really good loot, okay? Really, really good loot. So what's the tip for this? Wash and dry, awesome. Best Electronics, awesome. There's your tip. And yeah, this is quite interesting. If you don't like the fact that the zombie wakes up all the other zombies, you only have to do it once. So I cleared the place with Sebastian, and now I looted the place with Joe. And Joe is very safe because that zombie only activates the police car siren once. It doesn't do it twice, okay? Only once. So here I'm just showing you guys all the endings. I'm not going to show you both endings on the helicopter. Just trust me, if you don't find the fuel at the container place, then you're going to crash. And if you do find the fuel and use the pilot, you're not going to crash. But the two endings with the network is you bring your 10 pure alcohol, plus the cross, plus the briefcase, and then you give it to him, and many of us died. Many of us didn't even look at where we're going. So the tip here is you can still do the bad ending without ending the game, because unfortunately, as soon as you end the game, your game is gone. Your saved file is gone. All your progression is gone. You have to start a brand new game, which is not nice, okay? But again, that's how the developers intended it. If you're someone that just abuses the save game folder, you know, that's your choice. I play the game the way the developers want me to play the game. So luckily, you can still do this bad ending without ending the game, which in turn deletes your entire gameplay. So you can experience the bad ending and the good ending without deleting your entire game. So we talk to him. He says, thank you for the stuff. You give him the items. He says, thank you very much for the items. And then he says, you can just go to the back, and that's that. And you can escape. Okay, so head to the Walton, so enter the back room. But going to the Walton City Water Treatment Plant is optional. That's the good ending. So the bad ending is you walk right down to the back, but you can see this. You can see blood and body parts, and you can see some freaky stuff. You can see blood on the fridges. You can see containment units with blood in. Like, nothing is giving you a good feeling here, okay? Nothing is giving you a good feeling. Now, I have finished the bad ending. I have walked in here. But if you use your brains, you'll see that there's a big door that's probably going to close behind you, and you can see a bunch of body parts in there. So that should give you an idea that it's not going to end well, okay? But you can walk to that room, and then they will chop you into pieces, and that will be the end of your game, and you have to start a new game. Or you can do it like I do it, and complete the bad ending, but just don't go into the room, and then carry on with your gameplay. Or you can do it like other people do it, and go and save your saved game folder, complete the bad ending, like walk to the room, see what happens, and then just copy and paste your old save file, you know, over the later save file, and then you can just exploit the game like that. I'm not being negative towards people that do that. I'm just saying I'm a purist, okay? So I'm not being negative with how people are exploiting the curveballs and the save game folder. I'm just saying that this channel is anti-cheese, anti-shortcuts, anti-easy. This channel is all about teaching you how to play a game as intended and to have the most fun and to learn a lot. Because if you use exploit shortcuts, you don't learn as fast as someone like me will learn. Because I'm a purist, I'm forced to learn absolutely everything to master a game. Now, the thing about the threat levels is it increases every 10 days, which every 20 turns. Okay, so the game starts on the... No, the threat level increases every 20 turns, every 20 days, every 40 turns. You start the game on the 20th of August, and the threat level will increase on the 9th of September. And then 20 days from that, it will increase again. So that's 40 turns. There's going to be a lot of turns before the threat level increases. I want you to plan around that. Like, when the threat level increases, a lot of places are going to be more difficult, you know. There's going to be a lot more zombies there. Things are going to be a lot trickier. But when you do the good ending with this place, look at the dams. I loved it when I see the water in the dams or in the water containment circles, whatever you call it. You can see the water lowering. which I love. I love the fact that they show you, you know, how all that water goes into the tunnels and drowns the bad people. So that's really, really cool. And then again, you can kill the people here, because as soon as you as soon as you drown them, then all the zombies are gone, and then you only have to deal with people. Again, you don't have to waste ammunition or weapon durability on these guys. They work just like zombies. So you can use the stealth approach, or you can just use the Dirty Harry approach. And this Sebastian actually reminds me, or he looks like the closest guy to Clint Eastwood. And he does extra damage, so that's really cool. So yeah, you can just kill them with the revolver. Revolver one taps any of these guys. So again, you can craft 6 bullets with 5 weapon parts, and you can kill 6 of these NPCs if you hit them in the head. And at least they stand still. They're not like zombies that lower their heads and that move around a lot, which makes it easy for you to miss headshots. So yeah, you basically just drown them. You go back to pogos, and if you guys didn't know, you can kill cows at the meat processing plant, but the cow has to be very close to you. So if you find a cow that is very, very close to you, you can kill it. Sometimes when you come here, there isn't a cow close to you, but if you come to the meat processing plant regularly, there is about 3 spawn points where the cow is very close to you, and you can literally kill the cow and get a lot of meat, if you guys didn't know. Okay, so that's a nice little tip, how to get cows. And then yeah, you can see when I get ready for action, I use the revolver, which is my primary weapon. Lockpicks, bolt cutters, bricks, pebbles, like the whole 9 yards, the whole entire arsenal. But here we've got Kirk. Like I say, Kirk is our main dude when it comes to being tough, because we've got no one in our current group that's tough. And yeah, this is the good ending of the network. And with Sebastian, it's quite easy. Like I brought so much things with me. I could have, I could kill a lot more things, but again, I always try to keep my survivors that clear a point of interest safe. I give them more than what they need just to make sure they don't die. Maybe they only need 2 weapons, but I'll give them 3 or 4 weapons just to make sure they can clear the place safely. Because when you've got someone that clears a place, you don't have to worry about loot space, because your looters are going to come back there and get all the loot quite easily. Like I say, when you go for zombie heads, it doesn't work out for you. But the revolver is extremely strong here, and you just walk up to the end, and then you can end the storyline. I'm also not going to finish the storyline. I'm just going to show you that I can do the... I showed you that I could have done the bad ending, and now I'm going to show you that I could have done the good ending as well. So I'm basically showing you all the endings in one playthrough. And this video did take me about 100 hours to make. So I did a playthrough on hard, and I did a playthrough on normal, and I had to play the game for about 200 hours so I can actually teach you something. So it took about 100 hours of research and mastering the game. And can anyone tell me why the developers took out this last zombie? That big zombie, that boss zombie, was the coolest thing about escaping the network. Like it was the coolest thing about the good ending. You need to have some kind of boss at an ending. So can anyone explain to me why they removed that boss? Because there was a boss there that you had to kill that made things complicated, but now they removed the boss. So in any case, that's a good ending. Here is a situation with Sebastian. Now, I'm treating Sebastian. He got a deep wound, but I treated him exactly the same as all the others. And as soon as you see your character talking to his starting partner, like when a starting pair gets a deep wound and the other character in that starting pair talks to them like this, then that usually means they're going to survive. You know, you can see Sebastian's stats are full. Everything is great. So I'm going to save him 100%. But this is where I told you sometimes a curveball happens and you still lose a character. So what's my point? My point is that even if you do take my advice and save all your characters that get deep wounds, you must still use those expendable survivors, like I used Hudson and Aubrey, to teach yourself how to dodge. Learn to run away when things get uncomfortable. Try your best to not get hit. Because although I did everything perfectly, Sebastian lost faith in me and he shot himself. Now, this is a curveball, okay? But that's what I mean. If no curveball happens, you will save all your survivors with deep wounds, except with a curveball like this. So and I got Sebastian hit on purpose just to show you guys that I can save one survivor after the other survivor, but I never knew about this curveball. So I didn't fail because he didn't turn into a zombie, but he actually killed himself. And that's why I say be careful, because you could lose your most important character due to a curveball, even if you do everything right. But I like the fact that you can still lose survivors. I don't like the fact that people don't know how to treat deep wounds, so I've helped you with that. But I like the fact that that it's not guaranteed that you're going to save a character. But that's it for the tips, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this video, like I said, I had to do 200 hours of research on this game to help you guys. I've done a hard playthrough and a normal playthrough for the footage that I've given you guys. I've spent a lot of time editing this video and making notes for you. And yes, after about 80 hours, I would love for you to just click that like button to tell me that you enjoyed and appreciated this video. And if you want to learn more about Into the Dead Our Darkest Days and you want to join me for a live stream on the 23rd or the 24th of September, where I'm going to showcase the new Spoil Zone storyline, which is going to be really, really cool. You guys saw our guy wearing a hazmat suit, and you saw a boss at the end of the storyline. I love that. Like, that's why I want the boss at the network good ending, because you're going to have a boss at the end of the Spoil Zone. But why did they remove the boss, from the other one? I don't understand it. You need a boss at the end of the storyline. So in any case, I am going to kill the boss at the end of the Spoil Zone. I will probably have a gun to shoot the living poop out of him. But just to make it exciting, if he only has a melee weapon, then I'm going to fight him with a melee weapon just to make it a little bit more exciting. But I've mastered the game up until the Spoil Zone update, guys. So I will be getting to the Spoil Zone storyline extremely smoothly and extremely fast because of the knowledge that I've got in this game. And so if you guys come and watch my stream, you'll see Spoil Zone content faster than any other stream. Is that a good enough sales pitch? That I'm going to get to the Spoil Zone, or I'm going to get to the new points of interest with the Spoil Zone, and I'm going to show you guys all the new features faster than anyone else. I don't know if that's a good sales pitch. But in any case, check all those bodies there. I killed all those zombies with the alarm. Like, I threw the clock alarm, and then I threw the grenades. That's why those zombies are lying there in a pile. Really had fun with Kirk, clearing out the entire police station. I love clearing out places. So, yes, guys, click the like button, click the subscribe button if you're interested in this game. It's got a bright future ahead of it. It's very addictive. It's a bit of a snooze fest if you play it on casual difficulty. It is a little bit easy on normal within the first threat level, but as soon as you get to threat level 1, which happens on the 9th of September, and further on, the longer you play normal, the more exciting it gets. If you don't clear out all the points of interest, as fast as possible. Because as soon as you kill all the zombies in a point of interest, then when the threat level increases, they only add the new threat level zombies to that point of interest. So let's say there were 40 zombies at that point of interest and you killed all of them. once the threat level increases, they'll only add like those 5 special zombies to that point of interest, you know, but it's going to be very easy to kill those 5 special zombies because all the other zombies are dead. So try and not clear the police station before you hit like threat level 2 or 3. I have cleared all the points of interest on threat level 4, the max threat level, but it was a little bit underwhelming on normal difficulty. I have to be honest with you. It was very, very underwhelming on normal difficulty, but hard difficulty is still a challenge for me, and I am yet to finish the game without losing a single survivor. But hopefully with the knowledge that I've built up here and the things that I'm teaching you guys, I will be able to do a hard playthrough and not lose a single survivor. I'm feeling very confident that I can with the knowledge that I've built up. Even things that I've learned in these 100 tips, I think will help me a lot. So on the 23rd or 24th, I will finish the Spoil Zone within one stream. I'll try and do it as fast as possible, so it's not a 20-hour stream. So I will finish the Spoil Zone in one stream, and then the week after that, I'll do a hard playthrough and finish the Spoil Zone again on hard. Okay, so on the 23rd, 24th, I'm going to finish the Spoil Zone storyline on normal difficulty, showcase everything new in the game. And then a week after that, I will prepare to finish the Spoil Zone on hard difficulty and see how much that changes the game. But again, thank you for your time. Now I'm just going to show you how I clear the hospital. Just giving you a bit of B-roll, a few funny moments that I had in the game. But I appreciate your time. And like I say, if you can click that like button, I'll really appreciate it. And if you can communicate with me in the comments about any questions that I gave you, let's interact. Okay, I'm doing a lot of talking. The only way you can talk back to me is in the comments down below. So let's have a chat. Tell me how excited you are about the game. Tell me what you love about the game. Tell me what you don't love about the game. Tell me how you feel about the curveball system at the moment. Tell me, have you ever tried hard difficulty? You know, whatever comes to mind. Let's have a chat. I love talking to you guys. I answer every single comment personally. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy the rest of the footage. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the 23rd or the 24th. Just know that when the game comes out, I will be streaming it immediately. Okay? But I'm in South Africa, so my time will be GMT +2. But if you subscribe to my channel and you click the bell notification, you will be notified when I start that stream. And it will be, I'm not saying I'm the best, but it will be a very, very professional playthrough. And very smooth until we get to the Spoil Zone. Like, I haven't, you know, I don't know anything about the Spoil Zone, but with my knowledge, I will probably do it very, very smoothly. So if you guys, you know, don't want to waste your time and you want someone to get there as fast as possible and show you all the new things as fast as possible, join my stream. I'll be doing it live because when you record videos, a lot of people exploit the save game file to look like pros or to, you know, to feel good about themselves. But I don't do that. I'm a purist. I love making people laugh. I love showing people all the mistakes that I make, and I like letting them be part of the learning process so that they get better with me and that they can learn with me. And then a lot of time we have a lot of fun. But that's it, guys. Thank you. If you have hung around for an hour and a half, I bow my head down to you. I say thank you for doing something for someone else without it costing you a thing, although it did cost you an hour and a half of your life. But I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. It's difficult making 100 tips in 10 minutes. So if you did watch until now, tell me, comment down below, oh shit, Brick rocks. Okay? I'd like to know how many of you have stayed up until this point. If you have stayed up until this point, the way you can let me know is just typing down the comments below, the oh shit Brick rocks. Okay? Love you guys. See you guys later. Enjoy the rest of the footage and a few funny scenes at the end. And I'll see you guys on the 23rd or the 24th. Hopefully. Cheers.